The coevolution of bees and flowers explored through Andrena Lonicerae and Lonicera gracilis. The Encyclopaedia Britannica defines coevolution as the process of reciprocal evolutionary change that occurs between pairs of species or among groups of species as they interact with one another. This is evident in the relationship between bees and flowers.
Coevolution can be subdivided into two different groups: competitive coevolution, such as predation, or mutualistic coevolution. For the purpose of this video, we will be exploring the mutualistic relationship that is present between bees and flowers. Researchers have described plants and bees as being extremely interdependent and sometimes exclusive, so much so that biologists believe this can only be the product of a coevolutionary process. The mutualistic relationship between bees and flowers dates back as far as 100 million years ago, during the Cretaceous period. This mutualistic relationship implies that both species directly benefit from their interactions. For instance, the bee benefits by consuming the nectar from the flower, whereas the flower benefits from the bee through pollination dispersal. The progression of their association has increased diversity, as well as individual adaptations and specializations. Through the specializations, it is also possible to contribute to segregation, which is often involved in speciation. This means that the preferred traits for pollination will become more prevalent in the genome through evolution, and some of these specializations can give rise to the formation of new species. Flowers primarily benefit bees by enabling them to acquire pollen and nectar for food production, as well as various metabolic and reproductive purposes. When a bee lands on a flower, some of the pollen accumulates on their fine hairs through the occurrence of electrostatic interactions. Some pollen falls off the bees as they fly to the next flower. Pollen is also transferred via physical contact to the flower's reproductive organs. This contributes to the process of pollination. Pollination occurs when the pollen from one flower comes into direct contact with another flower, allowing for the plants to reproduce. This benefits the flowers as bees are more efficient pollinators than wind.
Bees and flowers have developed various physiological and morphological traits through the process of coevolution to increase the rewards obtained by their interactions. This can be explained by pollination syndromes, which are various collections of flower traits that have evolved due to the response of natural selection imposed by pollinators, including bees. For example, pollination syndromes can be observed through the relationship between bees and flowers. Bees prefer bilateral symmetry and are attracted to ultraviolet colors, such as blue and yellow. Because flowers depend on bees to pollinate them, they have convergent selective pressures to acquire these traits to improve the likelihood of their pollination.
In addition, both species have evolved specific adaptations allowing for more efficient nectar and pollen extraction. A bee from the Adrenidae family has evolved a long proboscis, or long tongue, which they can unfurl and reach down inside the complementary shape of the gracilis flower to extract nectar. While observing the interactions between Adrenidae Lonicerae and Lonicera gracilis, it is shown that various insects visit this flower and are all effective pollinators. However, Adrena has a selective advantage because it is the only insect that has access to the nectar due to its adapted narrow body shape and the length of its proboscis. This demonstrates the importance of morphological changes in order to attract and select for particular species to further benefit both entities acting in a mutualistic relationship.
It is evident that bees and flowers rely on each other for not only the pollination of flowers, but the beneficial uptake of the pollen and nectar for accumulation of food and total success of the beehive. These two particular species co-evolved over time based on their fundamental needs and interactions to benefit themselves as well as other species. This displays the importance of coevolution in ecosystems while maintaining equilibrium.
We can now see that the evolution of bees and flowers were not just influenced on their environments, but heavily influenced by the species in which they interact with. The benefits of nectar and pollen have been utilized to their fullest extent through the coevolution demonstrated by both bees and flowers. Over time, the physical shape of bees were not only altered in order to fit the flower's tubular shape, but various flower shapes and colors were altered to coincide with the bee's preference.